And all of our great friends and friends out here at the Claim Jumper Grossmont Center in La Mesa. Not too shabby out there, folks. Not too shabby. Chris Ello, along with the star of our program. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the undefeated coach of the San Diego State Aztecs, Brady Hoke. Coach, how are you?
It's better being 1-0 than 0-1. I can tell you that. So
I figured you might say that.
Yeah, well, it's you play the game to win, and you coach it to win, and it's fun to win, and it's fun to not play as well as maybe we can and win the football game.
All right, let's start with a couple of things about the Nicholls State game, and we'll be taking your phone calls if you'd like, 1-800-600-TALK or 1-800-509-TALK. You can join the program. We'll also get some questions here in our live audience at the Claim Jumper. Every Wednesday night we're here from 7 to 8 o'clock, happy hour prices and good times. But back to the Nicholls State game, Coach, and I think maybe a lot of the fans weren't quite sure what to make of that victory. I think they wanted to be very happy. It was an impressive score, 47-0, but it was Nicholls State. So, and this is a Division I AA school. So where did you stand on this victory Saturday night? I mean, how do you look at it as far as the stepping stones that you're making with your program?
Well, first of all, on behalf of our kids and the program and coaches and their families, I really want to thank, our students and those people in the community who really supported us, and that was awesome. And I can tell you our kids were excited from the start of the Warrior Walk to seeing the people, and it got loud. In fact, we missed the call defensively when they were down in the red zone, and we got down there in the students, and one of the defensive ends didn't hear the call from the linebacker, so we had to be a little louder, but that's a good problem to have, so we'll take that any time. But, as far as the game itself, I thought there were some good things we did. The defense, I thought, stood up a couple different times. Gave up a little bit too many yards rushing than we would like to, but I think, they stood up and blocked a field goal, which is something that you really, if you can block or a punt or a field goal, you really gain some momentum. But obviously the shutout and keeping them out of the end zone. I thought offensively, running the ball, I thought Devon did a great job as a senior coming in there and really kind of studying us. And then Ronnie, it was a shame that his ball security wasn't better on the first run he's had. But between Ronnie and Walter, I think we had some good things happen. And, a guy like Alec Johnson, who's played enough football for us, but it was good to see what he did out there and his mindset. Curtis Gunther, I thought, really did a nice job at the right tackle position and gaining some confidence from that. And Tommy Draheim, really did a nice job. He got a little tired at the end of the game, which and it may not be as much tired as it is maybe unfocused. So we got to keep that young lad focused for the whole game. But it was, there were some good things, obviously, that we did and a lot that we didn't do well.
In a lot of ways, this game, Coach, I mean, you guys went into this, and was it in some certain ways a game where, yes, Nicholls State was the opponent, and you would never take anything for granted.
Sure.
But, yes, this was a game you're supposed to win, and you wanted to win convincingly. But regardless of what was happening on the scoreboard, that this was a game for you and the coaching staff to really kind of focus on what you guys were doing.
Well, yeah, I think every game's that way. I mean, you've got to know your opponent. You've got to study your opponent. And, we had worked 3 weeks on Nicholls State's defense and thought they were going to run 4-3, thought they were going to – well, they didn't run any of it. It was a whole total different defense than we had prepared for, and it took the coaches and the players on the sideline, making some adjustments. And, and the hardest guy usually is on, and I think it is, is obviously your quarterback because he's expecting some looks and changing at the line of scrimmage and adjusting what we want to do, run pass-wise or run-wise. And, Ryan really did a great job of handling the situation. So, when you prepare for one type of defense and you get another, it's a little different.
All right, now the win is in the bank. It's 47-0. and you go down to speak to the media after the game. And I think maybe some people thought it was a little interesting that you weren't – I wouldn't say you were negative, but one of the things that you were quick to point out, I think one of your first comments was, if we play like that the rest of the season, we're going to finish 4-8. And I think maybe some fans say, okay, well, was he happy or are you trying to send a message? And I think in a lot of ways you were probably both. You were happy and trying to send a message.
Boy, you're smart. But no, you know, there's a lot of season. We have 12 guaranteed opportunities, and, you know, now we have 11 guaranteed opportunities. And our expectations and our goal are to win the Mountain West Championship. And that's, you know, never going to change. And, you know, you cannot have to settle for field goals in the red zone. That can't happen. You can't give up big plays on defense. And, you know, the one thing, and the two corners, Rocky and Al, are tremendous football coaches, and they've seen a lot of football. And, you know, to hear them speak to the kids in the same manner about, you know, our expectations and their expectations as a team, I mean, you just got to be honest with people. And, you know, we're probably blatantly honest with our players, and they know when they do things right, and they know when, you know, we're not doing them as well as we need to.
Well, I know that you were happy. Your running game got going over 200 yards, and you had three different guys really contribute to it. A fourth, I mean, I liked a couple of the misdirection runs you had with Brandon Sullivan,
Yep.
and I know you don't want to give that all away as the season goes, but Casey ran hard, and obviously Devon ran hard, and Ronnie ran hard, and once you got him back in the ballgame. So I know you were pleased with that. But I think all of us as fans, we all still love the home run, right?
Sure.
I mean, that's why we go to the game, right, for the home run. And I don't care who you're playing, but when I see a 71-yard rainbow fall out of the sky about 75 yards downfield toward the sideline into the arms of DeMarco Sampson, that throw by Ryan Lindley was an absolute thing of beauty. And, I mean, you've got yourself a good quarterback. You know that, but – man, what a throw that was. I mean, to me, just every now and again, I got to stop and say, man, that was really something.
Well, there's no doubt. And Ryan put it, obviously, the ball right on his helmet where you want to drop the ball. But there, you know, people may think, well, that's kind of, you know, an easy, just throw it up and let the guy run. But there's a red line rule that we have, 4 yards from the sideline, and the receiver has to hold the red line. In fact, on our practice field, there's a red line that goes down 4 yards from the sideline, and it's all about that. Gives the opportunity for the quarterback to drop the ball. It may be a little bit outside. It might be right over the top, but it really helps the quarterback and the receiver. And DeMarco did a nice job of running the route, obviously, and Ryan did a nice job with the timing of the route and putting enough air underneath it so he could run underneath it.
All right, let's take a look at a couple of your different sections of your team. Let's start with your guys on your defensive line. Neil Spencer got back to playing after a couple of years off. Immediately had a quick tackle for loss early in the game. I know that brought a smile to your face. And just to get him some confidence right off the bat. Looked like Jerome Long held up very well on the inside, and Ernie Lawson adjusting to defensive end. Tell me about your D-line play.
Well, you know, it was great to have Neil back out on the field, and you know, I love him. He's been through a lot, you know, some of it self-imposed, but, you know, he's done a good job and he's fought back. And, you know, it's easy to lose and it's easy to quit in life, and he didn't quit. And so I'm proud of the progress he's made, and he's a prideful young man, which is which is the most important thing. So it was good to have him back out there. I thought Ernie did a good job. He lost contain one time when he shouldn't have, and it really hurt us a little bit. But I thought he played stout. He played physical. Jerome played a pretty good football game, and BJ played a good football game. But we've got to play much better. We've got to play faster. We've got to play more physical, and we got to be a little more fanatical in how we chase the football.
How did Andrew Preston adjust to his first game at the Aztec position? I know the statistics say he had 2 tackles, and Andrew was like, well, okay, I should get 2 tackles in my sleep. But he's trying to learn that new position. So rate his performance because that's a key spot for you. I also talk a little bit about number 9, Miles Burris. That's a guy that I think we noticed on special teams 2 years ago, even before you got here,
Sure.
and it does not surprise me that guy finds the ball an awful lot.
Well, he does, and Miles, I'll start there, but Miles is really a prototype outside linebacker that you'd like to have. I mean, he's, about 230 pounds and can run, and he's a physical guy. He has a real passion to play the game, and he's a guy that can make some big plays. And in that position within the scheme, you have an opportunity to make some plays at that position. Nick Tenahoff, a redshirt freshman, is the same way, and he's gonna be a very good football player here. And as far as Andrew, I think Andrew, when you look at the position and you look at opportunities to make some plays in the run game or versus the run, it really comes down to how much coverage we're playing and what kind of coverage we're playing. Is he going to be in the box a little more, or is he going to be a deep third guy now and then, or a deep half guy? So his production is something that will take care of itself. I think obviously playing against a different offense, and the one thing Nicholls State wasn't going to do, they weren't going to put the ball down the field, very much. That's just not their style. But I thought Andrew did a nice job.
Yeah, your secondary was almost looking forward to talking to some of the guys this week, looking forward to the New Mexico State game so that they might be challenged a little bit more down the field. But you guys got a good look at a lot of underneath crossing routes and things of that nature. But did you get a good feel for your secondary against Nicholls State, or you're going to need to see some more, I would think?
Well, yeah, I think so. And the good thing is, we play against Vincent and DeMarco every day. So, and our offense isn't afraid to put the ball, down the field and stretch the field. And so, those guys have had some pretty good training. But, it'll be, I guess interesting, to see how we hold up against a team that's got, quite frankly, some really good receivers and a quarterback that has the ability to throw the football down the field. So we'll find out a little more.
All right, in New Mexico State, Saturday night, on the road. And I don't care what anybody says. They look at the opponent. They say, well, New Mexico State, come on. But
sure.
Hey, when you're going on the road and you're also facing a team that has 18 returning starters, so they've got some experience, and they played you a tough football game at Qualcomm last year. It's also their first game of the year, so you didn't get a chance to cheat and look at any of their film heading into this game.
Well, they have a new coordinator offensively. They have a lot of new faces. They've got a ton of junior college guys, and when you look at the receiver position and offensive linemen, they have two new junior college guys up front. They're a different football team. The linebacker position. There's a Mike linebacker who's a junior college young man, so they're a different team, and they'll be a true test. Logistically, always playing on the road is a little different in how you focus and how you treat it, and we've got some young guys who will be. I think they've all been on planes, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's one of them that hasn't, and so there's a lot that goes into it that. We all assume sometimes, but you never want to assume anything.
All right, well, one thing we can assume is that Coach Hoke and the club are off to a good start with the impressive win over Nicholls State. The Aztec Coaches Show just getting underway on this Wednesday evening from the Claim Jumper, Grossmont Center in La Mesa. When we come back, some more thoughts from the coach, Brady Hoke. You can join us on the phones. 858-569-8255. That's 858-569-8255 or 1-800-600-TALK. We'll take some questions from the fans here at the Claim Jumper as well. Chris Ello along with the coach, Brady Hoke. Aztec Coaches Show continues on AM 600 Kogo.